Welcome to our Crypto News in 10, a daily podcast bringing you the latest news about crypto in under 10 minutes. Here's what's moving crypto this Saturday, February 28th, 2026. We've got PayPal teaming up with MoonPay and M0 on PYUSDx, a new platform that lets developers spin up app-specific stablecoins. A US Department of Justice update puts more than $500 million in seized crypto on the board from Southeast Asian scam networks. In Japan, JPYC has raised fresh capital to push its yen-pegged stablecoin deeper into payments. A choppy market check has Bitcoin back near 65,000, with ETF flows turning slightly negative into the weekend. And in the UK, the regulator's sandbox picked Revolut to pilot stablecoin use cases. Sources today include Cointelegraph, PR Newswire, the US Justice Department, Chinese financial media citing Ledger Insights, the Economic Times, and the Financial Times. Story 1. Stablecoins, but make them modular. PayPal, MoonPay, and M0 just announced PYUSDx, an infrastructure layer that lets apps issue their own dollar-pegged tokens, backed one-for-one by PayPal USD reserves. The idea is simple. Developers get branded, cross-chain stablecoins with reserve transparency and a faster time to market, without rebuilding compliance and issuance rails from scratch. PayPal's crypto lead, May Zabaneh, frames it as the next phase of adoption, moving to the application layer. The first builder named is USD AI, using PYUSDx to support an AI infrastructure stablecoin. Important nuance. PYUSDx tokens aren't the same as PayPal's native PYUSD, and they won't live inside PayPal or Venmo wallets. This is a MoonPay-issued framework anchored to PYUSD reserves. Launch is slated for next month. Reporting comes via Cointelegraph and a joint press release. Story 2. Law enforcement's scoreboard. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia says freezes and seizures by its scam center strike force have topped $580 million, targeting crypto tied to so-called pig butchering investment and romance scams run by Chinese transnational criminal organizations operating from Southeast Asia. The task force spans DOJ divisions, the FBI, and the Secret Service. Authorities say they're moving to return funds to victims where possible, and they urge anyone affected to file a report at ic3.gov. The update landed Thursday, a material data point for the industry's ongoing cleanup narrative, and a reminder that large, coordinated seizures are accelerating. Story 3. Yen stablecoins are getting real backing. JPYC, the issuer of Japan's first domestically regulated yen-pegged stablecoin, closed about 1.78 billion yen, roughly $12 million, in Series B funding led by Asteria, with participation that includes Bitflyer Holdings. Funds go to system upgrades, staffing, and expanding issuance and redemption services. JPYC relaunched under Japan's updated Payment Services Act in late 2025 with tokens initially on Avalanche, Ethereum, and Polygon, and it drew attention for an unusual fraud compensation policy. The fresh round signals that regulated, onshore stablecoins in Japan are moving from pilot to scale. The raise was flagged by Chinese financial media citing Ledger Insights, with background from Ledger Insights' prior coverage. Before we continue, here's a message from our sponsors.
Need elite developers fast? Elite Coders connects you with rigorously vetted senior engineers in 24 to 48 hours. Staff augmentation, dedicated teams, or full project delivery. We've got you covered. Visit elitecoders.co to get started today.
All right, let's get back to it. Story 4. The market tape. As of this morning, Bitcoin is hovering near the 65,000 mark after giving back part of midweek gains. It's a pause that matches the ETF flow picture. After a brief return to net inflows earlier this week, US spot Bitcoin ETFs flipped modestly negative yesterday. Preliminary tallies show about $27.5 million in net outflows. BlackRock's IBIT led the outflows, while a couple of smaller funds eked out small positives. It's not a giant move, but it underscores how sensitive price remains to incremental ETF demand in a risk-off macro stretch. Price context via the Economic Times, with daily flow color from Farside Investors data reported by industry media. Story 5. The UK keeps iterating on rules through the sandbox. The Financial Conduct Authority selected 4 firms, including Revolut, to test stablecoin products in a new regulatory sandbox. Revolut plans a pound-pegged token inside its app environment as the FCA refines payment stablecoin guardrails. It aims to finalize by the end of 2026. It's notable timing. The UK is trying to balance tighter consumer protections with a bid to be a tokenization hub, and sandbox placements like this often foreshadow what the rulebook will actually permit at scale. Revolut remains in its bank license mobilization phase, but the FCA nod gives it room to run controlled experiments on stablecoin issuance and use cases. Quick recap. PYUSDx could make stablecoin rails a feature you add to an app, not a multi-year build. The DOJ's scam task force tally crossing $580 million shows enforcement momentum. Yen stablecoin issuer JPYC just armed up with fresh capital. Bitcoin is parked near 65,000 as ETF flows cool into the weekend. And in London, Revolut's sandbox slot hints at what UK stablecoin rules may look like by late 2026. We'll keep watching which of these experiments, policy and product, actually cross into everyday payments and on-chain finance next week. Thanks for listening and see you tomorrow.